Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and whatever part of this planet you're in. You know, how do we do this? Talking about two things that affect our society: stupidity and ignorance. They pretty much go hand in hand. It's unfortunately that in our society, the society that we live in here in the United States, everything has labels. I'm Puerto Rican American. Ugas, Italian American. I'm African American. Whatever. Chinese American. Why does everything, why can't we just simplify things and just say we're American without all the bullshit? Now, I was looking at the news, which I do quite often, and I hear this Muslim representative from Minnesota, Ilian. Now, she made a nice monologue of sorts. Black Muslim women. But once again, you're putting a label. Muslims are Muslims. I go to the masjid. I'll go tomorrow. You don't see any differentiation between Palestinian Muslim, American Muslim, Chinese Muslim. We're all Muslims. Anyone that's read any articles by Malcolm X or by Muhammad Ali, more so with Malcolm X, when he made his pilgrimage to Mecca, he was amazed by seeing all the multitude of mankind coming together. And the most beautiful sound in the world, to quote Barack Obama, is the sound of the call to prayer. When they call and start singing or say El Fitar, it is the most beautiful sound in the world. If you've ever been to the Middle East, like I have, Egypt, Morocco, even in Panama, there's a very unique Muslim community, and you hear loudspeakers in La Avenida Cinco de Mayo. So, pedestrian boulevard extends about 20 blocks. Now, going back to ignorance, there was a kid, lives over here, right? Black kid. He's got this. We were talking. I go outside, I had my coffee, and he's talking about, we gotta have the Back to Africa movement. I sort of laughed. The guy's around 20 something. He says, "What you think that's funny, man?" I said, "Listen, kid. You say the Back to Africa movement. Over 100 years ago, there was a guy called Marcus Garvey had the same idea. There's a country. It's called Liberia. And I said, I've been to certain countries in Africa. And to be honest, any American black that went back to any country, Gambia, Nigeria, Liberia, Gabon, Mozambique, well, they speak Portuguese there, Ivory Coast, you wouldn't last a day. And there's a reason why I say that. Once again, we go back to Malcolm X, who said it best. The worst thing to happen to the black man is the black man. He's his own worst enemy. And it is true. It is true. Yes, change is coming. Intermarrying. We're creating a whole generation of mutts. There was one actor, I guess his mother's white, father's black, whatever, or vice versa. And he says, people, I never felt white because my skin. Nobody ever looks at me and say, oh, here's the half-white guy walking down the street. They say, oh man, here's the black guy. And it's an unfortunate truth in America. It is a very sad, unfortunate aspect of American life. Racism. You can't sweep it under the carpet. You can't hide it in a hole in the wall. It's there, man. And with this guy we got president, it's just that more prevalent. Now, going back to stupidity, people don't learn where children are being missing, kidnapped, black, white, red, blue, whatever. It's irrelevant of the skin color. And I need to say that. It's irrelevant of the color of the skin. Young adolescent human beings are being kidnapped. Probably for body parts. There's a huge black market. I'm not going to get into the topic of how I know, but needless to say, that's neither here nor there. But back in the day, when you had the Young Lords and the Black Panther movement, I remember the subsequent groups would patrol the streets. Harlem, Hunts Point up in the Bronx, Westchester Boulevard up in the Bronx, Lower Manhattan, Alphabet City, as well as in Newark, Chicago. They patrol the streets. Now, you're not going to see nothing positive about the Black Panthers or the Young Lords. I know as a fact. They set up daycare centers in Harlem as well as Spanish Harlem, food banks. They help the community. They help the community and they help the kids to keep them off of drugs. I've seen him up on 118th give a severe beatdown to a Puerto Rican drug dealer. That boy hauled ass faster than a 1958 Oldsmobile. But the point is, we talk about what needs to be done, but we're letting the others take control of what we should do in our neighborhoods. You live in the ghetto. You live on Park Avenue. You live on Avenue A. You live in Bed-Stuy, Flatbush, or wherever else in Chicago. Take control of your own neighborhoods, man. Got drug, well, we don't have guns. Guess what? You catch them in the alley, a couple of baseball bats, you're going to find a spot to place the body, and nobody will miss them. But you need to take affirmative action. That's affirmative action, the true essence of affirmative action. Don't wait for the man. Because as a friend of mine, Rufus, the man don't give a damn. Now, let's go back to that whole point. Now, there's a certain individual I know. She had a nice pajamas she got for Christmas and all that. And I made a comment. You ain't got nothing on Beyonce. That's just me and my sense of humor. Now I hear back a soliloquy. You know, I say the soliloquy, what's the difference? Probably the person I was addressing the comment to, if she saw a homeless person, she would offer to buy him a cup of coffee and a donut or a kid's meal and give it to him. Now, do you expect Beyonce with her entourage of bodyguards to even give a shit about a homeless dude? Come on, answer my question honestly. Maybe. But most of these numbnuts, to a certain degree, the good acts for society is good publicity. Works for me. Now you got this Kanye West character found Jesus. Shit, before him I found Jesus. Jesus Lopez used to live on 96 Market Street, man. That was my old buddy back in the day. Jesus Lopez. He was a character. Unfortunately, died with a needle in his arm. And unlike the other Jesus, he didn't come back. Anyway, that was part of life back in Patterson. Going back in the day, it was good times. Good times. Now, when I was a kid, Patterson, I used to get beat up. All the Puerto Rican dudes, we used to get beat up at School 15 by the Cocolos. Those that lived in Patterson know what a Cocolo is. Black kid. That was the jargon. Till one day, one of my associates in crime, Wolfie, Leslie, known as Wilfredo, said, "Screw this, man." We started carrying chains, sticks, knives, little pen knives. We started shanking these suckers. When school let out at 2:45, we didn't run. I remember that I was talking this with a friend of mine, Victor Santiago, who was a retired police officer in Patterson. But anyway, we shanked them suckers up real good. We earned the respect. They left us alone. That's what you gotta do. You gotta show you got heart. But they were good days, man. They were good days. It's unfortunately that in today's society, everything just doesn't seem to have fun anymore, man. Cell phones, I mean, you know how many people I've seen? I was crossing the street from the supermarket, had a bag, right? Got some coffee, some creamer, whatever. And this bimbo, she's driving a nice car. On the phone, she's making a left-hand turn where I'm crossing. Bimbo almost run my Puerto Rican ass over. So I kicked the tire. I'm a little upset. She rolls down the window. "Oh, watch where you're going." I said, "Listen, sucker, I'm a pedestrian. I got the right of way. Maybe you drop that damn cell phone, pay attention. There's no likelihood you might run into a reindeer." Making a joke. But this dumb, stupid millennium's got no sense of humor. They're as phony as a $25 bill. But anyway, it is a shame that we're living in such a perverse society. Everything is labeled. Now, going back to corruption, mischief, and mayhem, let's go to Hollywood. Now, looking at it realistically, you don't see any major studios run by minorities. That includes Chinese, beaters, Spics, Guineas. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack about this, but it's true. You won't see any major studios. Well, let's leave Oprah Winfrey. She's the, can't say Aunt Jemima. She's got too much money for that. But she's got too many of the white boys in back of her. It's all about money. But she's the exception to the rule. And she's another one that's as phony as a $15 bill. She set up a hospital and school for kids, I think it's in South Africa, funded it for 2 years. They closed down. She didn't give them any more money. But she got some good publicity. But needless to say, that in itself is neither here nor there. But it is true that in Hollywood, if you don't play the game, that's it. But look who's running the game. Let's see, guys like Weinstein, Meyer, Spielberg. It goes without saying. But not one studio is run by a non-Jewish individual. When you find them, you find the money. It's that simple. Now let's go back to this Harvey Weinstein character. All the dirty deeds and all the little panties he's popped, God knows what this clown has done. He's still walking around free as a jailbird. I mean, as a jaybird. Now, if I was in Passaic County, Jersey, or even here in Johnson County in Iowa, I got a parking ticket, jaywalking ticket, and I don't pay. I got a SWAT team coming out my door looking for me. So it all deals, the justice system deals with one's ethnicity. How many white boys, and being honest, got a prison sentence and were released at 20, 15, 30 years, 10 years, because the actual culprit fessed up? But you ever wonder why it happens to minorities so often? Because it's a numbers game. They got to give them beat downs, get the confession. Makes them look good, the DA. You know, I made a comment about if Trump didn't get, if he was acquitted of the charges, he'd be able to have his term annulled. Found out it was BS. Now, the one that told me about this was a guy I played chess with, who's a law professor at the University of Iowa. Goes to show you how much he knows about the law. But it's amazing. It's sad and it's sick. You know, it's sort of like those epilogues of The Lone Ranger. Return with us now with those thrilling days of yesteryear. Well, sometimes I do wish we could return back to those thrilling days of yesteryear. I'm going back to the 60s when I was a kid, 10 years old, 63, from 60 to 65. More unity. A kid could walk the street, man. You play with your friends. You knew who your neighbors were. And if you did something bad and the neighbor crossed the street to tell your papa or your mother, you got an ass whooping. And now it's, hello, Alexa, turn on my TV. Simply amazing. Well, listen up. I got to do my prayers. It's that time of the day. God is good. God is good. To all my friends, associates, crime partners, and fellow bon vivants, I hope you got all the Christmas toys you always wanted. You know, I never got, oh yeah, I did get me a Lionel train set once from my Uncle Joe. Oh, God, if I could only turn back the hands of time. Just for 1 hour. But anyway, hasta la vista, baby. Have a good day. And if I don't get on the line before the 31st, may 2020 be your year. I know it's sure going to be mine. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.